But coaching really has nothing to do with the past. Coaching is, it doesn't matter why your mom hit you when you were 5. What are you going to do about it now? How do we move forward? What does your future look like? So I think those that want that understand the psychology want to be a therapist. Those that get excited by helping people navigate where they want to go, those are the coaches of the world. But I've had many therapists, many psychotherapists, many hypnotherapists that have joined Mars Venus. And when I ask them why did you want to become a coach? Because I don't want to hear one more problem. I don't want to hear holding someone accountable is not, you can't do that through AI. I've been to the gym by myself so many times and I'm like, okay, I'm done. My coach would go, no, you're not. No, you're not. AI can't do that.
So therapy helps you heal yesterday. Coaching helps you design tomorrow, especially if tomorrow means stepping out of your high pressure corner office into work that lights you up. We're going to talk to Richard Bernstein today from Mars Venus Coaching. He is the CEO and president of Master Coach Coaching. And Richard's been coaching for well over 20 years. He's the co-founder of Master Coach Coaching, together with John Gray, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Richard, what is the difference between coaching and therapy, really?
It's a great question because I think a lot of people don't understand it. And it's very simple to describe. Coaching is looking forward. Therapy is looking backward. We want to heal the past, whatever trauma you may have had or emotional blocks that you're holding on to from your childhood, from early adulthood. And that's really important that people have therapists out there. It's a great profession. It helps people to really come to grips and to sort out, maybe rewrite those tapes in their head of, my dad didn't love me or my mom didn't love me because of X, Y, Z, whatever it is. And I think it's important that people do come to grips with those things. But coaching really has nothing to do with the past. Coaching is, it doesn't matter why your mom hit you when you were 5. What are you going to do about it now? How do we move forward? What does your future look like? And we literally bring clarity around what you want to look, what you want to see, what you want to have, what you want to feel. And so we focus on the future. We focus on literally getting you clarity around what you really want in your life. The past is not relevant to the future. We believe that in coaching. So both have a role in society and both are valuable to human beings. I think that's really important that we have someone to turn to really look at the past. I personally happen to love the future. I love getting that mindset around what do I want? What do I want to feel like? What do I want to, look like? What do I want my relationship to be? Because I don't think success happens by accident. I think that coaching is really setting someone up for success in the future, and that takes clarity and planning and accountability. And that's what coaching is.
And in your experience, are there certain types of people that are more suited to becoming a coach and that are more suited to becoming a therapist? Is there a difference in personalities?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I do believe that there are, first of all, everybody wants to help people. So whether you're a therapist or a coach, going backward or going forward, you want to help people. So there is a common thread there. But I think there's a different kind of person who wants to really understand the psychology of why you're thinking a certain way. That excites some people, and those are the therapists of the world. They want to understand, how did your psyche come to that conclusion? What were the things that happened? Because if we look at some events from our child brain and we look at them from our adult brain, you get two different perspectives. And a lot of times our feelings were not really the emotion that's under it, but they were our interpretation of what happened from that perspective, whether you were a child or a young adult. So in looking at that, there are people that love to analyze the psychology of why somebody thinks that way. They should be a therapist. People that get excited by the future and what it could look like, and getting people to get to the other side of the brain where they're now seeing what they want, not seeing what they don't want. Those are people that get excited by coaching, because it's really helping a person. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Let's have what you want to have. And most people don't think that way. It's a great question. So I think those that want that understand the psychology want to be a therapist. Those that get excited by helping people navigate where they want to go, those are the coaches of the world. But I will tell you, why it's such an interesting question. I've had many therapists, many psychotherapists, many hypnotherapists that have joined Mars Venus. And when I ask them why did you want to become a coach? Because I don't want to hear one more problem. I don't want to hear one more negative about their childhood. I've been doing that for 20 years. Now I get excited by helping them have what they want. So, not that both don't have value, but a lot of people, it's a personal thing that I just don't want to do therapy anymore. I don't want to hear one more negative thing. I've heard that from many psychologists that have joined us.
Mhm. And in your experience, in your 20-year experience, is there a way to clearly say, okay, coaching is more effective than therapy, or therapy is more effective than coaching?
No, there are two different intentions completely. One is to, like I said, to come with grips over a trauma or a misinterpretation of why your mother did this or your father or a friend or a teacher. The mentors in our life form our beliefs. And so, no, I don't at all.
Mhm. Are there other character traits that would make a good coach, for example?
Yes, a good listener, somebody who's very good at listening to what somebody says and really peeling back the onion. That's very interesting to see what do they mean by what they said? What does that look like what they said? I think coaches have to be students of words because there's a million ways to say every single thing in the English language or whatever language you speak. If I look at just this microphone, I could say I could call it 100 different things. Students of words are coaches because I want to understand, why did you use that word instead of this word? What brought you to come up with that particular word? I think it's a very interesting um, uh, just an attribute of a coach is
Mhm.
understanding why people think a certain way and helping them change that thinking for the future. Because the thinking describes our success. The way you think is the way you act. The way you act, it delivers you the results. So to me, it's that thinking process and getting them to think a certain way.
Mhm.
In doing that, you have to analyze the words. So that's one attribute. Being a good listener, being empathetic, being compassionate, yet still firm. I'm compassionate about where you are, but where do we want to be?
Mhm.
Being a leader, I think, is important as well. We've talked about that in one of our other podcasts, is we're not leading them where I want them to go like I did in corporate. I'm leading them where they want to go, which to me is even more exciting.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are the kind of
And
attributes.
let's talk about your experience. Have you had therapy in the past? I know you have a coach, or you've had a coach. I don't know. Do you
I've
have a
had a
coach?
coach for 12 years. I haven't had one-on-one therapy, but of course I've been married 34 years. I've done marriage counseling.
Yeah.
We've gone through phases of where together we would go.
Mhm. And in your experience, what brought you further when you find
I
out?
think in both professions, that's also an interesting question. It's all about awareness. You know what I mean? We have to wake up. Most of us live in a fog. Most of us wake up in the morning and the entire day is routine. We take a shower, we make breakfast, we get in our car, we drive to work without even thinking. We don't even know how we got there. We do our daily, whatever that routine is, and then we come home and have dinner. So to me, even in therapy, when I was with my wife, it was me being aware of some of the things I did, which I just went through the motions I hadn't thought about. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's where change begins.
Mhm.
So, yes, there's a big difference. The same in coaching is the first thing we want to do is wake people up. And we do that through what we call an alignment process. So we take them through a process where they really have clarity around where they were and where they are and where they want to go. And in doing that, we're waking them up. We're making them be aware of right now. What's
Mhm.
happening right now?
In that sense, I mean, would you agree with the idea that therapy is almost part of coaching? It's like the groundwork that anybody needs to do before they can move forward, before they
No,
can achieve goals.
no, they're
No?
mutually exclusive. You can move forward without dealing with those issues. Because dealing with the issues, yeah, okay, it's good. Yes, you could look at it as what you said, groundwork, so that now we're going to move forward, but you don't have to have that.
How would you deal with them, with issues that come up, with limitations, with limiting beliefs when you're trying to reach a goal?
Yeah, that's a
artificial
really
intelligence.
good point. We at Mars Venus are the only school in the world, even though we're not therapists, that we teach a process that John Gray created called how to remove emotional blocks.
Mhm.
And he has a feeling letter process. It's amazing where you write out, I'm angry that, I'm sad that, I'm afraid that. What we want to do is have a catharsis of letting those emotions go. So we use that as our groundwork in order to then move forward, to get rid of those limiting beliefs or to start changing the messaging you're giving yourself. So that's a really good point. No other coaching school teaches that, how to remove emotional blocks.
So you kind of address the issue, whichever issue arises as it arises.
Correct.
You're moving forward.
Yeah, we're not in the emotional block business. We just, when it appears they didn't do what they said they were going to do, we identify the block and we remove it. Very powerful process.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. Now let's look into the future because I mean, what's your take on the rise of AI? How
Hmm.
are coaches and therapists, how are they positioned looking forward in the next 5 years and next 10 years? What's your
It's a great point. I think that there's two sides to look at it. I do think that AI is going to have a lot of value. There's going to be apps out there where you can ask John Gray, things like that, and kind of get those answers. Or what should I ask myself, to kind of get some clarity around why something happened or what do I want. But the difference in coaching with AI is, yeah, it might have a tool to bring you clarity on what you want. But the real underlying value of coaching is accountability.
uh-huh. Explain.
And AI will never hold you accountable. If you don't want to do it, AI is not going to say, yeah, well, you didn't do it. You need to do it. Yeah, it can bug you, but there's something of a human element when I say, Helmet, you said you were going to do it and you didn't do it. So tell me why. Holding someone accountable is not, you can't do that through AI. So you might get clarity and you might be able to craft a plan, but making sure you do it. My coach, sometimes I do it 5 minutes before I talk to him because I don't want to let him down. I
Yeah.
don't mind letting a computer down,
Yeah.
but I do
Okay.
mind letting my coach down because I will tell you something. I've been going to the gym for 20 years over my lifetime. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I hired a coach. So every time I go to the gym, my coach is there. Let me tell you, my experience at the gym is completely different than it was for 15 years prior to that because he gets me to do that one more push up, that one more pull up when I didn't really feel like doing it. That's the accountability piece. I've been to the gym by myself so many times and I'm like, okay, I'm done. My coach would go, no, you're not. No, you're not. AI can't do that.
That's an interesting look forward. So I guess with coaching and therapy, you have the human factor that's going to hopefully prevail among within all that artificial
I'm hoping
intelligence
so because
software.
I do think that we as humans need a physical human connection
Mm,
to vent, to share, to
mm,
connect with. I maybe it's just me, but I don't connect well with inanimate objects. So if you turn on an app and that
mm.
app is gonna, I'm venting to an app, to me it's just not the same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Will it be in the future? I don't know. Maybe. But I just think there's something about telling my problems to another human and having their empathy and their ear and their love. I don't think I would feel that way from a computer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I think that human aspect is going to be that human connection, the human energy is going to be very valuable as we move forward.
I agree.
And through that, I guess also things like coaching or therapy will remain valuable
Yeah,
because it
there might be
is
pieces of it
the,
that we can replace,
yeah,
like what would John say? And I, as a coach, can then use that in my sessions.
mm,
So there are pieces that might be able to, that AI could help a coach be a better coach.
so the knowledge
The
base.
knowledge that's in there that I can pull from and deliver to my clients.
Mm,
That could be very valuable for a coach or even for a client in between sessions.
mm,
What would Rich advise me to do? Because it's got my voice and my content in it, and that could help in the meantime. But there's nothing better than human, touch and human understanding, and then of course human accountability finally.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
Hmm.
Well, I think interesting times ahead. But Rich, before we finish, one last piece of advice for, let's say, someone, in their corporate, who's been living a corporate life, who's been, who feels a little empty, who feels a little lost, and who is looking for more purpose. How
Hmm.
should they decide, whether to become a therapist, whether to become a coach? What piece of advice would you give them?
I would read some psychology books. I would try to understand what coaching really is, especially at Mars Venus. How, if you're going to explore coaching schools to see how it feels to you, I would want to see what is their mission, not what do they do, but why do they do it? And if you look at those schools, oh, because you can make a lot of money and you could do that. At Mars Venus, we want to change 1 million relationships by 2030. We have a real purpose here of us affecting the planet. And in doing that, does that feel good to you? Or would you rather get into the psychology of that? So to me, that your analysis of what feels good to you should come from your exploration of the two opportunities. Should I be a coach? And if so, what school should I attend? What kind of support do I get? What kind of system do they have for me to follow? Because at the beginning, it's awfully hard in any business, whether you're a therapist or a coach, to start getting clients, to start building credibility, to start, getting out in the marketplace. It's not about the learning and the going to school part. That's the easy part. But as soon as you graduate and you then got to get out in the world, are they there for you? Are you on the same page as their mission? Do you follow their systems well? That's the exploration that I would do.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Rich. That was very illuminating again today. And for you who's been watching, if you found this content valuable, make sure you subscribe. Where I think we're going to do some gender intelligent coaching topics as well. So there's
We
always
can ask them for some topics. They can put it in the comments.
oh,
If they
perfect.
want me to talk about something, just put that topic there. I have a lot of experience doing coaching for years. If you want to learn, like we did last week, client retention or doing workshops or filling workshops, if you're having any trouble with your coaching practice, ask us that question. I'll teach
Excellent
it to
point.
you.
Excellent point. Yeah. So
Good,
put it in the comments. Let us know what you would like to hear about.
good.
With that
I'll,
said, thank you very
I'll
much.
see you next week.
Have a good afternoon. Ciao.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.